go. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the In Michigan podcast. I am your host, Ryan Redoute, aka That Michigan Guy on TikTok and Instagram. And today we are going to be talking about the west side of Michigan, all the cute towns, all the different components that make it so beautiful and such a special place in our hearts. But before I dive into that, I wanted to go into what's going on in Michigan today. The weather seems like it's officially cold. You know, like we had that warm spell, even though fall had started, and I was in my short shorts, which I love, and I was in just my summer vibes and my summer clothing. But it seems like the cold weather is definitely here to stick around. I'm looking out my window right now. So I was wondering oh, here comes Pablo. Hold on. Hi. Oh, hold on, let me hold him. He wants attention. Pablo's my cat. He's cute, just wants nothing but cuddles. But it's so hard being a working cat parent these days. But really, heart goes out to the working parents out there. I know it's hard. Of humans. But yeah, I'd say I haven't switched over my closet yet. I was wondering if you guys have. Feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. Give me your strategy. When's the best time to switch out your closet for the new clothes? Mid-October? Do I do it now? I'm always maybe another warm day will come and I can choose from my shorts, but I guess I can store them away. And it's really getting that effort to be okay, I'm inside the house more. The weather's getting cooler. I need to transition things over for fall, winter. But it's exciting because we get to layer. And today I'm wearing this sweater, which I like wearing because you just feel cozy, I guess. But I would say that's where we're at in Michigan right now. Next up, we're going to do the Michiganders Say What segment of the podcast where I share a comment from my TikTok or my Instagram videos. And today it's coming from Instagram. It's coming from a recent video I did where I was in Saugatuck, Michigan, which is on the west side. That we'll touch back on that later. And I was hiking up. Oh, I'm just gonna let him sit in the video because otherwise he's just gonna keep. He's closing out my programs. Hold on. Okay, we're all good. But it's on a recent video I did where I did the Mount Baldhead hike in Saugatuck, and I got inspiration because I walked by someone. Hey, you can't. That's it. I guess I trapped you in the room. Hold on, everybody. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna put him outside. There we go. Bye, love. Okay, he's going to his bed. So I was doing this hike and I passed by someone and I was like, morning, and we always have that vibe. And I feel like just Michiganders have that nice vibe when you're on a hike or you're passing by someone and they're like, yours is so cool, get ready for the nice view, it's worth it kind of energy. So I decided to do a video on that and somebody shared this comment. I had done a couple different renditions of when you pass by Michiganders on hikes and paths, and C.of.glass left a comment and said, forgot the one where you run into someone and then just say "ope" back and forth forever. And as I read this comment, I literally pictured it in my head. I was literally you're on a path, you can't get by someone, you're just kind of shimming left and right for a good 10-15 seconds before up. And yeah, so I just thought it was really relatable and very nice. So thank you, Sea of Glass, for commenting on that post too. And maybe you got an idea for another video. Never know what might pop up when you leave a comment on my page. So going into the My Life Am I segment of the podcast, I want to talk about the west side of Michigan. Now, everyone knows the west side because the east side's great. I live on the east side, grew up on the east side, and it's awesome. Still have the water. It's cool. There's a lot. Maybe I'll do an east side video. Maybe that's on the horizon. But the west coast in Michigan just has a specific vacation draw to it. It's just a different world a little bit. It's not as populated. It's a little bit more quiet, but the energy is very lively. The specific towns that are on the west side that I've been to that I very much enjoy is recently went to South Haven. That was really cute to check out for the first time. The bureau there actually invited me out for the night. And so I got to hang out with some friends from Grand Rapids as well. And yeah, just like I got to go for a morning run and just like going through the town. Like it's a really cute town. And I think a perfect little weekend getaway, especially in the fall right now, would be to really relish in fall time in Michigan, is to go to South Haven for one night, stay in the Waters View Inn like I did, which was a very cute place, and then you can go to Saugatuck for the night. And kind of get the best of both worlds there, which I think would be a really good idea for anybody. Even family, couple, by yourself, solo trip, anything. And so there's Saugatuck as well, and then I also know Frankfort, and those are the three main towns that I've spent time in. Mostly even Frankfort, I know like the back of my hand. I quiz me on anything of where it's at in Frankfort, Michigan, and I can tell you, my family's been going up there for a long, long time before I was even born. And then Saugatuck, which obviously I always tout on my videos and love. It's such a cute town. Just has a lot going for it. But I noticed that a lot of these towns all have similarities that I wanted to talk about as well. And that is just the adorable nature of them, the nature of them, like the fact that you really just start to feel really connected to Michigan's just natural beauty. I mean, like I was on the beaches in South Haven at sunset next to that famous pier, and I went to Oval Beach in Saugatuck, sunset the next day, and I travel, that includes anywhere in the world, in hopes of marveling at something. And right here in our home state, 2.5 hours from Metro Detroit, I felt like I got that marvelness at these beaches at sunset. And it's like, well, not only is this lighting perfect for photography and video, and me being a videographer and, wanting to be this, even more filmmaker, I was drawn to it in that regard, and just like the beauty of it. I mean, just to even look down in Oval Beach, for example, at sunset, or even Frankfort Beach on the pier at sunset, and look down the way and just see these cliffs. I mean, one of the people I was with that came with me on the trip to Saugatuck was from San Diego, or from California, and has, explored the state a good amount. And they said that it really reminded them of California. And I have to say, like, I mean, those cliffs, the rocky shore, like, I think we take it for granted a little bit that Michigan does have so much diversity. I mean, heck, the videos and the podcast I talked about, Tequamanon Falls and the UP, like, we have so many different places to visit and check out and get a different vibe from, yet you still get the wonderful Michigan energy and the fabulous Michiganders there that are friendly, and everyone just kind of wants to hang out and it's relaxed. You can get a no salt, no sharks, no worries t-shirt and some jam even. At least that's what my mom likes to get sometimes. No, she hasn't actually bought a shirt in a while, but she definitely buys her jams. She buys her jams. Preserves too. I think preserves are just thicker jams. Correct me on that. Feel free to shoot me a message if you want to give me the full answer. But that's another similarity that I think is really funny about these like West Coast towns, is they all kind of have a glitz. They all have a movie theater that's playing like one modern like movie, for a good like month. And that's so cute. We have actually gone to the theater a couple times in Frankfort on like rainy days. So we got to experience it in full. They all have an ice cream shop. Kilman's obviously in Saugatuck. I know there's one. I don't know if there was one in South Haven. And there's not a Kilman's in Frankfort, I don't think either. I think they might only be in Saugatuck, but there's two. Because I think in Saugatuck, they were like, there's two Kilbins literally within 5 stores of each other. And my thinking with that was that they felt like they were getting too overcrowded in summertime. And we're like, we need to put another one because the lines are getting too long here. And even like 7 p.m. on a slow weekend in Saugatuck, that line in Kilwins was almost out the door. So, I mean, like, my husband loves the ice cream. So, I get it. There's obviously like the smell in the air too. They get everybody. Kilwins is Michigan. Like, it is a vibe. But I found out there's a map in one of the stores that they're like everywhere in the US. So obviously there's a huge concentration here. But yeah, they all have these like similar vibes to them. They all are like beach towny, obviously. In Frankfort, there's Frankfort Beach, Oval Beach in Saugatuck, and then there's North and South Beach in South Haven. So you have a lot of access. The beaches are beautiful. Like, the sand. Oh my gosh, like I was feeling the sand at Oval Beach this past weekend, and it was so soft. Like, you go to Florida, and I mean, Florida beaches are great, but like the sand is so rough. It's a little bit more rougher. Sometimes it's soft. Obviously, I think like Fort Lauderdale Beach is a really nice beach, but it's a little rougher, a little more coarse. The sand just like melt, like it felt like it was just dripping like water off of my hand at Oval Beach. So I think in Michigan we get this like we get that certain environment that really makes it good. And just like I woke up in the morning in South Haven, the waves were crashing, the whitecaps. Like, I have this audio going on Instagram for a couple of videos, and people really love sharing it. So shout out to everyone who does, because I love seeing the story shares, because it just makes me think that my positive, Michigan message is getting out there that much more. But it's kind of like Michigan beaches look like the type of beaches that people paint, and that's just the truth, and that's the audio. And I did it for this beach in South Haven too, and it's so true. I mean, my grandpa was even a painter. He painted a lot of coastal things, lighthouses, sailboats, beaches, and it just reminds me of his painting so much. So I feel like Michigan beaches, especially on the west coast of Michigan, have the vibe of like the type an artist can just go to for the day and just paint those little white caps, the flowing grass that's always on every beach too. That's another similarity across the board, that they all have that specific breed of plant that's just like, it looks so photogenic. Like, it is beyond beautiful. Like, I don't know who was the part of the planning on the committee for getting that grass on every Michigan beach, but they did a good job. It might have been naturally there, I don't know. But yeah, the West Michigan vibes are just so right. They are just so right. So if you haven't yet, I mean, for anyone listening in real time, the leaves were starting to change here in October. Yeah, it is October, and they were starting to change a little bit. So, and I know that based on where you're at in Michigan, the leaves start changing at a certain point. So if you want to drive and start to see the leaves change, I recommend doing a trip in the next coming weekends. Probably give it a perfect, like, to get perfect coloring where like everything's colorful, I would say like 2 weeks. I think I just saw a picture of Tequamanon, and they're about half, like all the leaves are like half colorful, half green. So start planning those trips, because I think we're going to have a time where the leaves are changing really quick here in Michigan. I don't know why. I think it happened last year that way. And so I think it was like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they were like off the trees / they changed colors, and it was a beautiful 2 weeks, but it was a lot. It was really fast. So have that to look forward to. Plan your trips to the west side of Michigan. Go check out those towns that I mentioned maybe, or check out a new one too. And other than that, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you all, Michigan.